with the defense right now?
Oh, there is none. You know, you give up 42 points in the quarter. I mean, we got off to a great start. You know, I love the beginning of the game. I think we built a 15-point lead. And give the Spurs credit, man. They just turned it up a notch, and we never matched that. They shot 64% in that second quarter. They made 5 threes. Doug McDermott looked like an All-NBA player. Keldon Johnson, those two guys carried the weight. But as I told our players, to give up 128 points, to give up 68 in the paint, and to be out rebounded 50 to 33. That last stat kind of is a microcosm of our lack of aggression, lack of fight, lack of physicality the whole night. So embarrassing loss, not because it's the Spurs. I'm not saying it that way. I'm saying embarrassing because of the defensive effort we put forth.
Have you noticed a lack of urgency this week? You got away with one against Toronto, and Chicago happened tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I felt the Toronto game. I mean, they kind of jumped the game up. You know, obviously we were able to pull that away, but I didn't think that was a game that we weren't necessarily ready to play. Chicago, yes, that was a game where I couldn't tell you where we were that night. Individually, collectively, as a unit, you're going to lose games, but I didn't feel Chicago beat us. I felt we never gave ourselves a chance to win. And then tonight, you know, the second quarter was horrific. Get back in the game in the second, but just every quarter, every timeout, every huddle, begging for defense. At halftime, getting on our guys, you know, and you're not going to beat anybody with 15 games to go playing defense like that.
Doug McDermott went off, big reason why their bench had such a great night. But what do you do to spark your second unit?
What do I do to spark our
I
second
mean, how
unit?
can they improve?
Defend. I mean, like if we're taking the ball out of the net every possession, you're playing against a set defense, and we're just not good enough. You know, especially the second unit. We have to get offense off our defense. We only had 12 fast break points tonight. We only had 5 against Chicago, and that's been something where we've been top 4 the whole season. So if that second unit wants to play better, you know, we were outscored 58 to 25 tonight off the bench. They want to play better, defend, rebound, and run. Get out in the open court, attack before they're set, attack the mismatch, whatever it may be. But you know, we go home for one home game, then we go on a road trip out east. And the challenge is to get ready for Brooklyn, coming into our building on Sunday afternoon.
Do you think there's the team maybe is taking a little bit of a mental rest before the season's over?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't believe that. You know, but obviously, you can draw your own conclusions from the Chicago game and where we got blown out, and tonight where our defense was nowhere to be found. So now we have 15 games to go, and as I told our players at halftime, we can talk all we want about being a top 10 defense. We can talk all we want about trying to be the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Talk is cheap. Go out there and do it. You know, let your actions show how serious you are about that. And you know, again, I 6 to 8 in the paint, 24 second chance, and to get out rebounded 50 to 33, we got our ass kicked.
One more?
Were you surprised Michael got tossed?
No, to be honest. You know, they gave him the first tech for the taunt on the dunk, and even though I think, you know, I would argue, what is Michael supposed to do in that situation when a guy runs over and gets in his face? You know, just knowing how the league operates, I was not completely surprised that Michael was ejected in that situation. I think it was the right call to eject Collins. If you're going to throw Michael out, you got to throw him out. And that's what the referees did.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.
You guys can just come to the line.
Okay, thank you.